Yeah, greetings YouTubers, it's the big fella, Big Jim, on his, in his London Taxi International TX2 on a 2003 plate with about 260,000 miles and climbing on the clock. Very good morning to you. It is still morning. It's a Saturday morning and the sun is shining, everyone, and what makes it so bloody lovely out here as I pull the window down is I ain't got to go to work. So how nice is that? It's brilliant. Now you're probably going to hear some rumbles and some noises in the background. I'm up a place called Whiteways at the moment, which is right at the top of quite a large hill. We're about sort of 300, at least 300 foot above sea level here, and there's a large car park here and a cafe over in the corner. And it's you get a lot of the biking fraternity that come up here showing off all their bikes. They're all in their little sections. So we got all the Hondas over here, we got some Guzzes, we got the Hogs, the big Harley boys over here. Then you got the old 70s Japanese bikes over there. But everyone's intermixing here, and I'd like to show you, but again I'm going to have to move this. So if you hear things and the ground starts to shake, it's because there's some big old bikes coming in here. But yeah, welcome aboard. I done one of these the other day. I tell you what I need to talk to you about. Some of you might have noticed that I've taken a couple of videos off of the YouTube up here. There's the one I had up here was a walk round, which I walked round the vehicle, showing you the vehicle front and also showing you the vehicle inside. And for a very short period of time I put up one where Poppy, my daughter named her as you know, done a the Americanism prom thing a few days ago, and I got her well polished up, although she hasn't been clay barred yet. Got her all polished up, and in getting her polished up I put ribbons down the front of her, and she did look the part, and she took my granddaughter off to her prom, and a few people were asking about her, you know, and so yeah, she done us proud. It was a real good, it was great, absolutely fine. So I didn't think no more of it. I just put it up on YouTube, and then I got a guy come back to me, trying to think his name there, Craig I believe it was, who messaged me and said, you know, I don't want to sort of cut in, mate, but you're showing your registration number on a couple of your videos. And I said, well, I didn't think nothing about it. And he said, well, what happened to him? And it was quite frightening, actually. He had a brand new car that he put up on YouTube, on eBay for sale, and he also took a video on YouTube of this car for sale and linked it to obviously eBay for sale, so people get a chance to have a look at it. Well, the car didn't sell. He was telling me that it didn't make his auction price, or he had a reserve on it. Well, about 2 weeks after, he started getting loads and loads of tickets for going in the congestion charge zone in London. Now this guy lives up north somewhere, and he they were coming through thick and fast, and then a speeding fine came through as well. Anyway, he sort of battered them all back, which wasn't a problem. He thought that there was a bit of an issue with it, but more and more come, and in the end the police got involved, or he involved the police with it. And what the police reckon had happened was, you probably guessed it, that someone had seen the registration number of his Audi. It was an Audi TT, and they'd seen it on there, same year obviously as his. They possibly had one that was a bit of a wreck, or had been involved in an accident, or was off the road. So the guy has just taken the number plates, the registration number off his car, had a set of number plates made up for his car. The wreck is still in the garage in a million pieces, and this guy's driving round with no insurance obviously on his car. It's got no tax, no MOT, but he's cloned all the details now over, so ANPR cameras would be looking at that, and they see the registration number obviously of the guy's car that he's cloned, and consequently he don't give a toss. This guy now, he's going in, he's all based in London, so he's going into the congestion charge zone, not paying, fines being sent back obviously to this Craig. Not only that, parking fines, he was just nothing, you know. Anyway, they kept on getting batted back, but what this Craig said to me was that the issue become that he had to prove to all the authorities that he wasn't in a given place at that time, which he did, but he said it took many person hours to collate all this, filling in forms in line, doing this, doing that, had to get evidence, and he said it was a real drag of his life, and it's an experience that he learned, and he said he would never ever replicate and never ever do again. And it got me thinking, and I thanked him, and then what I've done is I thought, yeah, he's right. 99.9% of us wouldn't have even thought of that, and we'd have put it up there, and it's just to help everyone else out with regards to cabs and getting into cabs. I didn't click it either. It's the 0.1% of people that are dodgy, that are out to get something. Now, especially one of these, loads of these running around London, and I didn't want to start to have to do that. So what I've done is I've pulled those videos off that show the registration number, and which is a shame really, because the last one I put up of my granddaughter's party with the ribbons on it, it looked really lovely, and I've had to pull it off because of that, the chances of that. But what I've done is I've gone through and I've ordered a set of number plates, which are show plates, and what I'm going to do is these I'm going to adapt them in a way that I can just clip them over the front of my standard number plates, and I've actually got it saying Poppy TX2, I think it is, yeah, Poppy, there's some bikes coming in, Poppy TX2, and I'm going to just put them, so when I do video Poppy or the car, it omits to show obviously the registration plate. Another thing he was saying is as well that it's not too difficult now as well for people through their registration numbers. There's lots of companies now, the DVLA will give up your details with your address, and if anyone does want your vehicle, you might get someone that wants something like this, especially the time that's been spent on this, that it's not too hard for them to get an address now through the DVLA and other means that obviously is up on your V5, up on your logbook. And that really is a bit, yeah, it made me think. So that's the reason why, guys, I've just pulled that up there. It's all right, we just got an ambulance pulled in now. Looks like some guy's overdone it on his mountain bike and got a bit breathless. We've got an ambulance that's just pulled in here. Anyway, it all happens, mate, in my life. So I pulled that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to upload some more stuff of the outside once I've clay barred everything, polished, shined, with that American type wax I was telling you about, which I've not had a chance to. I was going to do it today. Now, the reason I didn't, because it's bloody hot out there, and when it gets too warm, the old clay barring is not best to do it when it's warm, because the detailing fluid that you spray on before your clay bar dries up, and if it dries up, then you're dragging, and if you drag, you can scratch and you can damage the vehicle. So I will not be doing. I'll not be doing that today. I'm not moaning that it's too warm, I must admit. So today is a bit of a wasted day in a sense, but not for me, because I'm sitting up here really happy. I've had a can of Diet Coke because I need it. I've had a can of Coke and I'm sitting here just enjoying life, watching all these old bikes, these old retro boys as well. And they're not youngsters. Well, we've got a few youngsters up here, but they're sort of middle-aged people up here just enjoying their hobby. But they're not doing anything they shouldn't do. There's no craziness saying that. He's gone out of here at a fair old thing. There's a Morgan there that's just going past. There's some lovely cars and some lovely bikes in here, and it's just all people, all petrol heads, really friendly. So anyway, I digress. That's the reason why I'm not going to be put those up there. The next ones will be that they'll have a show plate up there. Apart from that, everything else is all tickety-boo, hunky-dory. Good news, the hydraulic pipe that went on the steering rack, the high pressure side, is now, I have it. That arrived yesterday, so that's ready now to be fitted. That's going to take about an hour, I suppose, by the time I get down there, and all those bits and pieces to do. So that's about an hour away, an hour to do. So it's no rush because it's not really losing the odd drip. The only thing that I'm going to have to do is obviously clean up the parking space, because there are a few drips on the floor with that. But I'll do that when I get round to it. So that's the only other thing that really needs doing. Apart from that, it's a lovely sunny day here, a lovely sunny Saturday, 20 to 12. We're just about to go into the afternoon now, and I have got nothing else special to do today, so I'll cut this one short because I'm like a bloody pigeon here. My head is going backwards and forwards, looking at all these old bikes. They are really lovely. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's a nice one. I will let you go on this one until the next one, which will be probably once I get it all polished up and I get those plates in, and we'll go from there. Alright, ladies and gents, nice speaking to you, and no doubt I will catch up with you again, and we'll do it all again very shortly. Cheers now.